One of the most revered figures of Romanian Orthodoxy, Father Justin Parvu, was arrested in 1948 for political reasons and sentenced to 12 years in prison. His imprisonment was later extended, and he ultimately spent 17 years in forced labor, enduring some of the harshest and deadliest prisons and labor camps in communist Romania. One of the cruelest punishments was being assigned to the lead and copper mines at Baia Sprie. Underground labor there could destroy a healthy man within a few months. The air was poisonous, the dust shredded the lungs, and the daily quotas for loading ore carts were virtually impossible to meet. According to the testimonies of former fellow prisoners, the rules in the mine were simple and brutal. If you failed to meet your daily quota, you were left underground and savagely beaten by the guards, sometimes to death, or deprived of your food ration, which often meant a slow death by starvation. Elderly, sick, or physically weakened prisoners frequently collapsed between the mine tracks, unable to lift their pickaxes any longer. It was there that Father Justin Parvu became a true giant. Though he himself was undernourished, he seemed to possess an extraordinary physical and spiritual strength. After completing his own quota through superhuman effort, he did not rest. Instead, he went to the weaker and older prisoners, breaking a rock for them and filling their ore carts so they would not be beaten or starved for failing to meet their quotas. He worked twice or even 3 times as hard as everyone else in the toxic air deep underground. Accounts also describe that when mining accidents occurred, and they happened frequently because of the frantic pace of work and the lack of safety measures, and exhausted prisoners collapsed, Father Justin would simply lift them onto his shoulders. He carried them for dozens of meters up unstable wooden ladders until they reached the tunnel entrance, while even the guards looked on in silent amazement. At night, in the freezing barracks, his hands torn and bleeding from gripping the heavy steel crowbar, Father Justin listened to the confessions of fellow prisoners and gave them the courage to face another day. He survived that machinery of physical extermination, was eventually released from prison, and went on to become one of Romania's most beloved Orthodox spiritual fathers, a living refuge for the souls of thousands of people until his repose at the age of 94. The lesson is timeless. Sacrifice is not merely speaking eloquently about compassion. It means literally placing your own shoulders beneath another person's cross when they can no longer carry themselves. Father Justin Parvu left behind the example that true holiness is forged not in comfortable surroundings, but by descending into humanity's darkest places in order to save one's brother.